जीत गए सीरीज जीत गए, पहुंच गए फाइनल में, सो माय टिकट वोंट बी वेस्टेड। यू नो बड़ी डर डर के फाइनल की टिकटें ली थी, बहुत relatively सस्ते में ली थी, टू बी ऑनेस्ट। आज टुडे आई गॉट टू नो द सेल प्राइस ऑफ दोस टिकट्स हैज गॉन अप बाय 5 times, and that's the face value. So I can imagine near to the match how expensive they would be. But I got them last month in the hope that India will reach the finals of the World Test Championship, and here we are after um, winning the series and drawing the last match, winning the series 2-1. India has reached the final of World Test Championship against Australia. Essentially अगर देखो तो ये 5 मैच की सीरीज आती है, जिसका 5वां मैच इंग्लैंड में
फाइनल।
खेला जाएगा।
या
इंडिया को आदत है, राइट? इंडिया ने इंग्लैंड के साथ पिछले साल भी ये किया था, दे प्लेड 4 मैचेस एंड देन केम बैक नेक्स्ट ईयर टू प्ले द 5th मैच। एग्जैक्टली हाउ
या
इट इज। अंकित with me, joining
हाय।
as always. Just before he starts his part of the show, we didn't do an episode for last 2 weeks because I was traveling for work, and managing both things is not very easy, and we need to combine our times. As you can see today, you can see there's light behind Ankit because uski subah aur meri raat hai, and we made a conscious decision कि इस weekend तो episode डालना ही है इस week का तो. So yes, so Ankit, what were your views on this series?
Yeah, thanks for bringing us back, sir, again after a hiatus of maybe 10 days, 10, 15
10,
days
10,
maybe.
15 days, yes.
Yeah, and congratulations to Team India and to you as well, because as you rightly said, your ticket won't be wasted now. क्योंकि टिकट तो आपने ले ली थी और जाना तो आपको था ही, तो बेस्ट चीज़ ये है कि अब इंडिया वर्सेस ऑस्ट्रेलिया होगा रादर देन
Hmm.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया वर्सेस
Sri Lanka versus
साउथ
Australia.
अफ्रीका और श्रीलंका। या
Hmm.
वो भी एक अच्छी चीज़ हुई कि कल जो कीवीज ने किया, जीत गए वो तो, हालांकि शायद फिर भी इंडिया पहुंच ही जाता अगर अगर न्यूजीलैंड ड्रॉ भी करा लेता मैच, राइट? क्योंकि
Hmm.
श्रीलंका हैड टू बीट देम 2-0 इन केस इफ इंडिया हैज टू गो आउट।
The series had to be, like Indian series had to be drawn 2-all, and then Sri Lanka had to win 2-0. बहुत
या
कुछ इंडिया के
हाँ,
अगेंस्ट जाना
बहुत
था,
कुछ।
बहुत
या
कुछ बहुत
दैट
अलग होना था, देन दैट वुड हैव हैपेंड इवन इफ इंडिया वुड हैव ड्रॉन दिस मैच व्हिच दे डिड and Sri Lanka wins 2-0, we were still in the final, so we were safe any
that
which
was
way.
not seemingly possible. So yeah, all good for Team India.
Cool. Uh, there has been a lot to say about the pitch, right? All the experts talk about the spitting cobras and the turning wickets of the first 3 matches. इंदौर में मैच लगभग 2 दिन में खत्म हो गया, right?
Hmm.
And this was probably, as Marco said, that was a 2-day pitch and this was a 22-day pitch. Right? So
Yeah.
probably is this exactly how I remember getting up, in weekday or weekend mornings when I was 12 years, 13 years old. These are the kind of pitches which are served. Srinath का कंधा टूट गया bowling करा करा के. Anil Kumble, वही we keep saying, right? If Anil Kumble and Harbhajan Singh would have had these pitches, what
Yeah.
Ashwin and Jadeja are having, they would have each had 1,000 wickets each, right? So
Yes.
nostalgia, early 2000s or 2010s वाला pitch था, and भयंकर high scoring match. Uh,
या सच में सर, आई मीन ये पिच देख के ऐसा फील हुआ कि व्हाट हैपेंड इन इंदौर। आफ्टर दैट आई थिंक टीम इंडिया इंक्लूडिंग मिस्टर राहुल द्रविड़ एंड रोहित शर्मा, they made sure that they won't lose Ahmedabad test because uh, what do I say? They got a taste of their own medicine in Indore, right? And they made sure that they don't lose. So they were happy, they were content to be winning the series either 2-1 if they cannot make it 3-1, right? So they didn't want to make it 2-all in any case. That's why इतना slow turn था, docile surface था, कुछ भी happening नहीं हो रहा था, even on fifth day. तो आप सोच
नहीं,
सकते हो
I
कि
think
कितनी कितनी लाइफलेस पिच थी ये।
one thing you are absolutely wrong. Sorry, Ankit, to say
अच्छा,
that.
क्या?
They didn't. वो नहीं थे decide करने वाले. They were not the ones who wanted to not lose. It was Mr. Narendra Modi. मोदी जी के देश में मैच हो रहा है और इंडिया हार जाए, मोदी जी के शहर में, मोदी जी के स्टेडियम में मैच हो रहा है, राइट? तो इसमें राहुल द्रविड़ का तो कोई सही था ही नहीं भाई, ना राहुल द्रविड़ का सही था ना रोहित शर्मा का सही था। मोदी जी सुबह मैच देखने आ रहे थे 9 बजे फर्स्ट डे पे, और इंदौर की पिच में अगर मैच हो रहा था तो फर्स्ट डे पे शायद 9 बजे से लेकर 10 बजे के बीच में सेकंड इनिंग शुरू होती। तो ये क्लियर था कि भाई विकेटें नहीं गिरनी चाहिए चाहे जो हो जाए। ठीक है। तो मोदी जी
Yeah,
ने मोदी है तो मुमकिन है, मोदी जी
yeah.
सेव्ड इंडिया, द ब्लशेस, थैंक यू मोदी जी, for carrying India's burden in this series. And yeah, it was a batter's paradise. What to say? You know, I think anybody who made it big, and there were people who made it big. Gill scored a century. Kohli obviously scored his much-awaited one. We will talk about Kohli a bit more in the next few minutes.
Khwaja played a
Khawaja
marathon knock.
played a marathon, obviously. I think people like Smith, Pujara, they must be feeling really bad about missing
Yeah.
out on this pitch.
Especially Smith, after spending so much time, he played some 140 balls in first inning, and still he got out on somewhere around 40. And
Hmm.
if you remember, on that moment, I sent you a screenshot through Crickbuzz or Cricinfo that it was the first time in his career that he's gone without a 50 for this
Yeah.
much long. Like, it's been 6 innings without him being scoring a even a half century in Test cricket. That hasn't happened before. So yeah, that was a major surprise.
सी वही बात है ना, लोग कहते हैं कोहली का एवरेज 55 से 48 और 46 के करीब आ गया है। पता है क्यों आया है? कि वो इन पिचेस पे खेल रहा था अब तक. If he plays in Australia on those, see, they are tough fast wickets, yes, but they are batting wickets as well, right? If you're
Yes,
good
yes,
with your technique, you will score. So if Kohli would have been playing in those pitches, I'm sure, I'm not saying that Steve Smith is not good. He's a modern great, but somewhere these pitches are not made for batsmen, and that's what we saw in the first three matches. Last match में एवरेज बढ़नी
absolutely,
चाहिए थी, स्मिथ की वो
absolutely.
बढ़ा नहीं पाया. कोहली ने एवरेज अपनी थोड़ी सी ऊपर कर ली है, 1 या 2% से, आई एम श्योर.
Yeah,
So that was nice. Even when the pitch was so docile, so not favorable to bowling, Ashwin in the first innings bowled really well. Got 6 wickets for less than 100, which was an amazing feat considering how well Australia played, and they also scored above 450. So any words on Ashwin?
yes, sir. Ashwin is so persistent with his line and length, especially in Indian conditions. Once Khwaja got out, उसके बाद the floodgates opened for him. I think उसके बाद tail उसने काफी जल्दी finish कर दी. Though Murphy
Murphy
and
and Lyon, yeah.
Lyon put up some, yeah, substantial resistance, but
Mhm.
still I think wicket Ashwin ने ही लिए last में सारे, right?
हाँ, अश्विन
He
ने
got
लिए थे,
6
अश्विन ने
out
लिए
of
थे.
10.
हम्म.
Yeah. तो अश्विन के बारे में क्या ही कहना यार, स्पेशली इंडियन कंडीशंस में. डिजर्विंगली ही गॉट अ मैन ऑफ द सीरीज एज वेल. So yeah, it was good on him.
इस सीरीज में एक आदमी को भयंकर रियलिटी चेक मिला है, वो है अक्षर पटेल.
Oh
Not saying
yeah,
that he
especially
bowled
with the
badly
ball.
at all. He
Yeah,
didn't bowl badly at all. It's just that अगर आप, वही बात होगी ना, शोएब अख्तर बोलता है कि अगर मेरे आगे वसीम और वकार ना होते तो आज मैं खुद 500 विकेटों पे बैठा होता. तो उसके आगे अश्विन और जडेजा बैठे हैं तो उसकी बारी बारी आनी ही नहीं है, राइट?
yeah,
So
correct.
that he won that, and of course his introduction to Test cricket was in those dust bowls against England, right? If you remember, and where he was getting 12, 13 wickets a match on an average.
Every match, yeah.
Jadeja was not playing that series, so he was playing as a first spinner, and somewhere I think today, because of the lack of bowling time as well as quality of other bowlers, and probably to some part, to some extent, wickets, right? I mean, not counting indoor. Um, Aksar, I think, still has a long way to go in his career, and this is what it showed. But at the same time, he batted really well. He was
Yes,
India's consistently the best batsman, right? I mean, of course,
true, true.
Kohli probably was the highest run getter of the series, but because of one innings, but consistently he was doing well. I read somewhere on Twitter, one of these, and see, Twitter is amazing, right? So one of one of the guys wrote, probably this is the coming up of Akshar Patel's career to go on the same lines as Steve Smith.
Yeah,
Both of them started as bowlers and then gradually got into batsmen. So probably Akshar Patel can convert into it. There's still hope, right? You still can't say there's no hope.
yeah.
So
Why not? Why
who
not? His
knows? Who knows?
batting always looks on the rise. He bats so well. He has a pretty simple but very decent technique. He defends well. He plays in the V as well, or cuts and pulls also. He does so efficiently.
Mm.
Yeah, he's got the game. He's got the game.
I think one person who was not very happy with his batting was the another man of the series, Ravindra
I
Jadeja,
mean,
who
yeah, I heard
and
him.
Ashwin. Yeah, so Ashwin and Jadeja both got man of the match, man of the series. Sorry, combined. Jadeja also got about 24 wickets in the series, and he was very vocal and self-critical about his batting. Basically
Yeah,
wanted to contribute more and he couldn't. And specifically in today's or basically
yes,
the last match where he
yeah.
could have scored runs. So I think that's a good sign of a champion where you are not happy with what you have. Even after winning the series and the award, he said that he will work hard on his batting, which is, I think, which is a great thing to come from somebody like Jadeja, like 34 years old, a legend, an established player of the team, to say that I will work hard in the nets again and come back and do well, augurs well for Indian cricket as well as Ravindra Jadeja. So well said.
Yeah. They both did so well. Like as Harsha rightly mentioned during the press post match presentation, that it was very hard to split them. So they
Mm,
decided that they would give this award to both of them because both Ashwin and Jadeja got 20 plus wickets, I guess,
mm,
and both got
yeah.
timely runs to save India in many occasions. They got somewhere around 150 runs,
Mm,
150 to 200 runs, both of them. So yeah, both did well. I guess Akshar Patel outbatted them,
of
but
course, they
his
outbowled
impact
them.
with the ball was pretty negligible. So
Mm.
he cut out himself from the from any awards or some those kind of
नहीं नहीं मिला ना
ceremonies.
उसे
But
आज द मोस्ट पावरफुल प्लेयर प्लेयर ऑफ द
oh,
मैच
those
कि 80 मीटर का छक्का मार दिया तो भाई ले जाओ 1 लाख रुपए. सो
Indian awards are sham.
स्पॉन्सर्स को भी तो खुश रखना है भाई, स्पॉन्सर्स
एग्जैक्टली
को भी खुश रखना
एग्जैक्टली
है.
भाई,
तो
पैसा तो इतना बढ़ता है इंडियन क्रिकेट में
हम्म,
इन रीसेंट इयर्स जिसकी
हम्म,
कुछ कहने की हद नहीं है.
एक टाइम था जब 5 मैच की सीरीज में 5 बाइक्स मिली थी और पांचों की पांचों युवराज सिंह और महेंद्र सिंह धोनी ले गए थे. और वो कौन सी बाइक्स थी वो? कुछ
टी
आई डोंट इवन नो, सीबीसी से भी नीचे लेवल की नहीं होती है जो टीवीएस
oh,
सेंट्रा टाइप,
yeah,
100 किलोमीटर
TVS, I
प्रति
was
लीटर
about to
वाली.
say that.
सो टीवीएस की बाइक्स थी, हाँ, इफ आई रिमेंबर करेक्टली. अपाचे, आई गेस, यस इट वाज
Okay.
अपाचे इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग.
और
बट
उनकी उनकी एक फोटो भी तो बड़ी वायरल है, आज भी आप गूगल पे जस्ट टाइप करो युवराज एंड धोनी, वो फोटो आपको दिख ही जाएगी बाइक पे, शायद किसी सीरीज के बाद ग्राउंड पे चलाते हुए हैं
तो
दोनों.
हर हर मैच में मैन ऑफ द मैच पे बाइक मिल रही थी. वो धोनी के गैरेज में हायाबुसा खड़ी है, 4 निंजा खड़ी है, पांचों. आप उसको अपाचे दे के खुश कर रहे हो, आरटीआर. तो वही है. मतलब कई जगहों पे क्या मिल लाइक, कई जगह पैसा मिलता है, कई जगह कुछ मिलता है.
Yeah.
अफ्रीका के मैचेस में मुर्गी मिलती है, मैन ऑफ द मैच जीतो तो जो घर जाके खाओ उसको पका के. तो ये सब भी होता है. सो यू
ये
नेवर
कब
नो.
होने लगा?
अरे ये इंस्टाग्राम पे और उसमें ट्विटर पे देखा था कभी तो, कि कोई बंदा मैन ऑफ द मैच जीता तो उसको गले में मुर्गी पहनाई है जिंदा, एक बांध के मुर्गी और उसके हाथ में
सच
मुर्गी
में
है. हाँ
क्रिकेट
हाँ, आई
में?
एम नॉट किडिंग, आई विल सेंड इट टू यू, आई फॉरवर्ड
आई
टू.
हैव
नहीं,
नेवर
फुटबॉल
सीन दैट.
फुटबॉल फुटबॉल फुटबॉल,
ओके,
नॉट
ओके.
क्रिकेट. सो
क्रिकेट में मैंने वियर्डेस्ट चीज वो देखी है, वो भी काफी वायरल हुई है रिसेंटली ट्विटर पे, as a meme or anything. ल्यूक राइट को इन हिज अर्ली स्टेजेस ऑफ करियर,
ओह
आई गेस
यस यस यस
बांग्लादेश
यस
में
यस.
एक वो पैन मिला था या
नॉन
स्टोव,
स्टिक,
नॉन
नॉन स्टिक.
स्टिकी, समथिंग
मेरे
लाइक
हिसाब से
दैट.
तो मुझे तो ऐसा कुछ याद आ रहा है, सो मिक्सी मिली थी शायद.
हाँ हाँ, ऐसे ही कुछ, ऐसे ही कुछ.
मिक्सर या मिक्सी मिली थी.
हाँ.
बांग्लादेश में ही
तो
बात
क्या
है
है
ये.
उससे?
100%. बीपीएल,
Yeah.
Bangladesh Premier League. Cool. So let's talk about Kohli, my favorite topic. I think at the beginning of the series, I didn't expect it to go this way. I knew that Kohli, or maybe I predicted that Kohli would do well. Of course, the pitches were shambles
Yeah.
in almost all the matches. Let's be honest. Even the last match pitch was not the best, right? It was not good for the game, but that made sure that Kohli scored a century. He was looking good throughout probably all the matches. Just kept getting those magic deliveries or those innocuous से शॉट पे एलबीडब्ल्यू होना जो हो रहा था.
Yeah.
इस इनिंग्स में मुझे एक बहुत सही इनिंग्स के साथ सिमिलैरिटी दिखी, एंड मे बी नॉट टू दैट एक्सटेंट, बट 241 नॉट आउट्स
Yeah.
फ्रॉम
Yeah.
सचिन तेंदुलकर, सिडनी. एक भी कवर ड्राइव नहीं खेला. कोहली ने वैसे इस इनिंग्स में 2 कवर ड्राइव खेले थे, बट 70% ऑफ हिज रन्स वर ओनली नजेस इन द लेग साइड.
Yeah.
ही
Kohli
डिड
was
नॉट.
very restrained in his approach. Yeah, you're correct.
फर्स्ट 100 बॉल्स पे शायद 30 का स्ट्राइक रेट भी था, देन ही सॉर्ट ऑफ पिक्ड अप. 100 पांच चौकों के साथ किया, which again is very uncohli like, scoring a century with 5 boundaries, and then next 80 odd runs he scored 10 to 11 boundaries. So
Yeah.
that is when he picked up the game, but never played a risky shot. The only aerial shot he played was the ball before he got out, where I think it was Hanscom who dropped him, and then I think जिस बॉल पे मुझे लगता है उसको कवर पे मारना चाहिए था, उसको उसने स्वीप किया और टॉप एज लग के आउट हो गया. Could have had a double hundred, could have had a not out, just ran out of partners, and unluckily, unfortunately, had to get out at 186. But I think he's back. What do
Yeah,
you say?
sure. You rightly mentioned that he looked pretty good all throughout the series, but he kept getting those untimely dismissals because of some lack of concentration, and pitches also played a big part. क्योंकि
Mhm.
जब आप इतनी टेरेबल पिचेस पे बैटिंग करते हो तो यू आर नेवर इन, यू आर
Yep.
नॉट you're not supposed to go and score daddy hundreds on those kind of surfaces. So he looked all good, like in all the three matches before Ahmedabad. But finally he reaped his reward for his all the hard work and good technique and temperament in Ahmedabad, and he cashed in. He cashed in.
Catched in big time.
Exactly.
आई थिंक अब कोहली को एक टेम्पलेट तो समझ आ गया है कि पिच चाहे कोई भी हो, बैटिंग चाहे कैसी भी हो, बॉलिंग चाहे कोई भी हो, मैच से पहले बाबा जी के घर जाओ, किसी
या
भगवान के पास जाओ, वहाँ बैठ के
मैं
जमीन पे
कहने
फोटो
वाला था
खिंचवाओ.
बाबा,
राइट.
वो क्या नाम है उनका, नीम करोली बाबा शायद.
अरे वो तो पहले गया था, अभी भी तो बीच में बिटवीन टू मैचेस ही वेंट अगेन. अनुष्का
या
शर्मा ने मस्त उसको धर्म धर्म वाला बना दिया, कर्म पूजा धर्म पूजा सब करो. But I think it was just a matter of getting one big score for him. Exactly, we saw that in T20s he got a century. Then World Cup he was mind blowing.
mm.
Then again in I know it was, you said it was against Sri Lanka at home, but he got a century and then he ended up getting three. The king is back. I think we are on to hundreds and we are back again in the race.
I'll for that to happen, I think I'll stick to uh, not stick to. I'll wait till the WTC final. Let's
Hmm.
see how he copes up against that trio of Stark, Cummins, Hazelwood in English conditions outside India. Let's
We will
see.
discuss we will discuss the WTC final just in a moment. But I wanted to say something about Kohli since a while. I think we couldn't cover it in on one of our previous episodes. आज interview देखा सुना after the man of the match, and as a fan there are a few things which I don't like. There
Hmm.
are a few things which you should like, which is basically said, I don't care what people think about me, I only care about what I think about myself, what
Yeah.
expectations I have. But somewhere I think the sense of uh, you know winning for the country, वो feel नहीं आ रही थी. Basically people expect a lot out of me and I want to deliver, or maybe my country needs me and I want to deliver. मुझे ना वो feeling नहीं आ रही थी. It was very disconnected. I will do what I want, I'm that
Yeah.
stage of my life. वो सुन के एक feel सी नहीं आई. I know it's very right for him to say that. I think sometimes he's overdoing it, overdoing the simplicity. अंदर वो दिमाग में सोचता होगा ये सब चीजें, but बोलता नहीं है, because uh, wants to sound very polished, wants to sound very mature.
Yeah.
Probably he's
Yeah.
not.
No.
Um, like probably know he's not, because you keep seeing him on the field and on stump mic shouting and saying things. जो ऐसा लगता है हमारा कोई दोस्त हमारे
Yeah.
मोहल्ले का लौंडा है जैसे बात कर रहा है.
Yeah.
So uh, that reminded me of one thing which I wanted to say, which was if he would not have scored in this match, I would have probably lost it, because I know he must be going through a lot of processes in his training, in his nets, but you don't regain form in nets, right? You regain form in matches.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
like, when was the last time he played Ranji for Delhi? When was the last time he played any domestic cricket, right? And all the big players, it's been Gangulis of the world, Lakshman, they've been dropped, they went down, went to the domestic circuit, scored runs. Even the great Sachin Tendulkar, when great, when he was peak of his powers in 98, 2000s, when a big team used to come to India, he used to make sure that he played played domestic cricket, or even sometimes he's played in the board president's 11, the side
Yeah.
matches, just to get acclimatized to
Yes.
playing in India, getting his form back. Uh,
Just to
Somewhere
be
that
in
is
that
missing.
frame of mind to bat time and bat long. as per the test
Exactly.
matches.
I mean, Ravindra Jadeja का comeback के बारे में people are talking, and he rightly in his first match when he became man of the match said that I would like to thank the NCA, and he went out, he was bowling 8 hours a day in NCA, ball after ball, and that reap rewards. He also played a domestic match where he bowled about 40 odd overs, got 6 7 wickets. So there is no replacement to a match, right? And
Yeah,
somewhere I felt Kohli is getting detached from all of that. आप बहुत बड़े प्लेयर हो सकते हो, बहुत अच्छी बात है, बट यू आर नेवर बिगर देन द गेम, बिगर देन द स्पोर्ट. आरसीबी के लिए खेलते हो, बहुत अच्छी बात है, 20 करोड़ रुपए मिलता है एक टूर्नामेंट के लिए, बट समवेयर यू ओ इट टू the
fans
domestic
as
teams which
well.
you gave
Yeah,
exact
yeah.
fans and the teams, right? See, imagine how big an occasion it would be for a Delhi player when Virat Kohli comes to play Ranji, or maybe even if he's in the dressing room, he doesn't even play and comes to say hi. He has, like, you owe it to the game, right? You need to go back
Yes, yeah.
to the game. And I think this is what is missing entirely in the domestic circuit of India today. None of the big players, the Rohit Sharmas, KL Rahuls, go back and play for their team, play for their domestic circuit. And of course, I picked up Kohli specifically, but probably it could have been anybody else in the team. जिनको जब भी टाइम मिलता है उनको जाके डोमेस्टिक खेलना चाहिए, यंगस्टर्स को ग्रूम करना चाहिए, should tell them the expectations there are on at the international level, which is lacking. Even if you're injured, people don't play, right? People just wait for the Indian cricket team calendar to come back and they join the team directly.
No, I agree to you on this point that big established player like Kohli, if they are going through a rut, if they are going through a bad phase of form or anything, they they prioritize their schedule and they should look to go a level down and
Mhm.
hone themselves uh, just to regain to their best form, and that is to go to Ranji Trophy and play for Delhi, just to
Mhm.
get back into that batting frame of test matches, batting long.
Exactly.
और आपने ये भी बिल्कुल ठीक कहा कि मैच गेम टाइम जो है ना वो रिप्लेस नहीं हो सकता, आप कितना भी अच्छा कितना भी ट्रेन कर लो अपने आप को नेट्स में, कितनी भी आप प्रैक्टिस कर लो, but the match intensity only comes when you actually plays a match, when you actually play a match. So
वही
that
बात
is
है ना,
there.
इट्स नॉट, आई मीन इट्स ऑल्सो अबाउट गेटिंग कॉन्फिडेंस बैक, राइट? इफ यू सी, सीधी सी बात होती है, कभी कभार इट इज अबाउट द कॉन्फिडेंस, इट्स जस्ट नॉट अबाउट द टेक्निक, right? You go a level down or two levels down in the cricket, in the game, and you play again a bowler level, like a little lower level than international cricket. You score heaps of runs, एक कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाता है वापस, राइट? एबिलिटी में तो कोई कमी है ही नहीं. ऐसे नहीं है कि
Exactly.
विराट कोहली आज स्टार्क को नहीं मार सकता और वहां पे जयदेव उनादकर को मार सकता है, ऐसा तो है नहीं.
Yeah,
इट्स अबाउट कॉन्फिडेंस, एंड व्हेन ही गेट्स कॉन्फिडेंस प्लेइंग लोअर लेवल, देन अपर लेवल पे आती है अपने आप लगता है हाँ यार शॉटें लग रही हैं. सी, बैट का मिडल लगना ही अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस होता है, राइट? सो
बिल्कुल.
great, he got a century, but if ever there was a change in format, like for example, I would have expected him to sit out of the last one day match of the previous series and probably prioritize playing a Ranji game to get into form, into the mindset of playing test cricket. But that did not happen. Such is life, such is the game today.
Yeah,
um,
so just before we finish on this, I'll just take 30 seconds.
sure, sure.
Quite honestly and quite practically, I would like to say that I don't see that happening at all in near future. What
Mhm.
near future? In any time, because I think at max he must have 2 3 years left, maybe. Let's see. I feel. एंड मैं नहीं देखता हूँ ये होता हुआ कि वो कभी भी डोमेस्टिक में जाएगा, क्योंकि सी प्रैक्टिकली स्पीकिंग अब चीज़ें वैसी हैं नहीं. ही हैज़
Mhm.
बिकम अ डैड, he has become a family man, he plays all three formats, he
He
doesn't get
moved to
enough
Mumbai.
time.
He's moved to Mumbai.
Okay, yeah.
He's permanently
So
moved to Mumbai. His wife is a celebrity. He has ad shoots. He has what not. So
exactly.
yes.
So मुझे लगता नहीं कि he'll get enough time for going to domestic cricket and hone his skills again. तो उसको अब आप इसको चाहे किसी भी सेंस में लो, he is considering himself bigger than the game, or he has already become that big that he does not need to go to domestic cricket to get back into touch. He feels that he can do that in a uh,
Net.
international match playing for India. however bad he might look in recent matches, because and he's approaching 35 36 as well. So
Mhm.
अब मैं देखता नहीं हूँ ये पॉसिबल कि वो डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेट में जाएगा और ग्राइंड आउट करेगा.
So मैं
दैट्स
एक
नॉट प्रैक्टिकली
prediction
पॉसिबल.
करता हूँ. Let me do a prediction which you said his career is 2 or 3 years left, right?
मैक्स या.
मेरा एक prediction है, and I may be completely wrong. I feel that he will leave T20s first, which I think he's already done that in a way. BCCI has made sure that they're not picked. Hardik is
या
the captain, right? Rohit and Kohli. Let's see if that continues because there is no World Cup for the next 2 years, so I don't see them playing for India again. Maybe they can be given a farewell series. Maybe BCCI doesn't really do that, but let's
या
say if they do. So I'm assuming their T20 career is over. I feel both Rohit and Kohli will gradually phase out of the ODI game as well in the next 2 years. I don't think that next World Cup is their last tournament because Kohli ko 50 centuries marni hai and he's very close in 1 days, right? He's on 47, 48, something like that. So एक चीज वो होगी. So I feel he will play 2 more years of ODI cricket and then my prediction is he will play Test cricket till he's 38 to 40 like Sachin Tendulkar, and that's when he will have a lot of time because सिर्फ टेस्ट टू टेस्ट खेलेगा साल के 5 या 6. Knowing BCCI, if Kohli only plays test, India will start playing 15 test a year. BCCI के बारे में कुछ नहीं कह सकते, वो फिर टेस्ट ही टेस्ट हुआ करेंगे. But I have a feeling that if that happens, then Kohli will play probably 1 or 2 test domestic matches. Let's see. Let's hope. You know,
या.
give back to the game and obviously keep himself in touch. But that's what I expect.
दैट इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी. गुड गुड टेक, गुड टेक.
Let's see. Cool. WTC final. Next test match for India is in WTC. I think Australia plays Ashes before that. So,
नो नो नो, एशेज इज आफ्टर दैट.
okay, Ashes is after that. So, there is IPL now, and then after the
या.
series, WTC, right? There's nothing in
Yes.
between.
Yeah, no.
Cool, perfect. Then I need to check my information. But cool. So, WTC final. Oval में है, England में early summer. Um, Pitches will be fresh and
There
completely
is a
different than
slight,
what.
yeah, there is a slight notion I heard late last evening through Murli Karthik, I guess, or Dinesh Karthik, that it would be early summer in England, but considering it is at the Oval, which is seen as one of the better batting pitches in England, so
Mhm.
there are chances कि इतना भी bowling dominant scene नहीं होगा, but still much better than what we have seen here over
No, no,
the.
100%. I think ये सीरीज जो है 4 मैचेस के इससे तो completely opposite होगा.
Exactly.
And it is not just about the pitch in England, right? लंदन में हर दूसरे दिन बारिश और बादल होते हैं. So you never know what kind of cloud cover is there, right? That pitch today looks like a batting wicket, and tomorrow it starts seaming and
Yeah,
swinging. So you never know. Australia will come back into it with three fast bowlers, genuine fast bowlers, with Hazelwood, Stark, and Cummins, provided the fitness remains.
yeah,
Unlike this series, जहाँ पे एक ही fast bowler खेल रहा था for
yeah.
majority. Of course,
And
India also has the tools.
to add to that, they would definitely have their enigma, their prodigy, Cameron Green. He's definitely good,
I think
no?
he's made it. He's made it to the like.
आप
Of course, he's not Shane Watson, but Australia has always had one big all rounder in their team,
yeah,
right? Simons or Watson हो. I think Cam Green is somewhere there now, where
आप
he.
अगर आपको याद हो, if you actually remember 2 3 years back even, I used to say to you, he's been built here as Australia's answer to Jack Callis and Andrew Flintoff,
Mm,
because
mm,
आप उसका फिजिक देखो. He's
mm,
6 feet 6 tall, इतना big burly strapping lad, equally good with the bat, equally deadly with the ball. अगर आप उसको थोड़ी सी भी हेल्पफुल सरफेसेस पे बॉलिंग करते देखोगे, ही इज रियली गुड. ही बॉल्स इन
mm.
140s.
Yep,
इतनी
yep.
हाइट है उसकी, इतना बाउंस मिलता है. तो यहाँ पे मैं थोड़ा सा डिसएग्री करूंगा आपसे. he 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 might not end up as good as Watson in white ball, but he's definitely gonna become much better in red ball cricket. And uh, एक बात और आपको बताऊं एज अ मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट, ये जो उसने टेस्ट मैच में पहला 100 मारा है, इट वाज आई गेस दूसरा 100 था इसका टेस्ट मैच में. एंड
I think
ही इज 22 और 23. एंड
पहला
बिफोर,
100 था शायद इसका.
नो आई थिंक सेकंड 100 था.
पहला था, पहला था,
एक
पहला 100 था.
पहला था. पक्का?
Hmm.
फिर तो
I'll
और
have to
बड़ी बात है
check,
यार कि
but I've heard मतलब जितना भी मैंने पीछे देखा था, मैं I think पहला 100 था.
इंडियन कंडीशंस में नहीं, एक शायद वो मार चुका है यार घर पे, मुझे अच्छी तरह याद है, उसको सेलिब्रेट करते हुए देखा था मैंने। तो मैं, मेरा
Sure.
पॉइंट ये था कि ये
Hmm.
आई गेस उसका 8th और 9th फर्स्ट क्लास 100 था, एंड ही इज नॉट इवन 23।
पहला ही था यार.
पहला था।
टेस्ट मैच
वाओ।
में पहला था.
बताओ यार, फर्स्ट 100 इन इंडियन कंडीशंस, बीइंग एन ऑजी, इट्स नॉट इजी, वेयर
बट यार
द लाइक्स ऑफ स्मिथ और
इंडिया के पिच के बारे में बात करो ना यार. कौन से पिच के बारे में बात कर रहे हो तुम? विंडोज पिछले मैच में मारता तो बात करते.
स्टिल, स्टिल मैं मतलब, as a historical
Hmm.
stat, it's not easy, being an Aussie or Englishman coming to India in a such early stage of your career and hit 100 against the likes of Ashwin, Jadeja and Akshar. It's not easy. So मेरा point बस ये था कि he has already scored 8 to 9 first class 100 from Western Australia even before he turned 22. मुझे याद है 2-3 साल पहले यहाँ पे ऑजी मीडिया में उसको ऐसे बिल्ड किया गया है। देयर वर articles about him that he is Australia's response to Ben Stokes, Jack Callis and Andrew Flintoff, and I somewhere agree to that. Considering his build, his game, he has everything: batting, bowling, height to generate that extra bounce on lively surfaces. और इस साल आप उसको आईपीएल में भी देखेंगे, he has
Hmm.
done enough in white ball, especially against India only, right? Last time they came here for
लास्ट टाइम
2020.
ओपन किया था उसने, हाँ.
Yeah, he belted some 20 balls 50s. So yeah, signs
Hmm.
are very good for him.
No, if you have even half the career of what Shane Watson had, even in Test matches where he was not the greatest of players, you've had a career. Trust me.
Yeah.
So I think let's see. I mean, so basically, Australia goes in with three fast bowlers and one Cam Green and one Nathan Lyon. I don't see
Yes.
that. I don't see anybody else. And usually, a team which goes with four bowlers only to have a fifth option in their sleeves, up their sleeves, is something of a plus for them for sure. We will obviously talk about WTC final even more near the event. What we think the team might look like, injuries and whatnot. So Bumrah is doubtful. Shreyas Iyer, we don't know what the, what injury he has and all of that. Very quickly, wrapping up the test series, pluses for both the teams. What do you think the positives for India and Australia are?
You go with India, I'll go with Australia.
Cool. I feel KL Rahul का थोड़े टाइम के लिए पत्ता कट गया है.
Hmm.
It's not a plus, but it's something which definitely is worth discussing. If he comes back, there's a big if to it. I personally feel he will be in the middle order. I don't see him open
Yeah,
again.
definitely, definitely. I was about to say the same thing because I guess Kohli, not Kohli, Shubman Gill has shut the door on him
Exactly.
for the opening slot, and lately Bharat didn't do that well even with the gloves. Last two matches mein there were many misses from him, and batting wise,
राहुल कीपिंग नहीं करेगा यार. राहुल
अरे
कीपिंग
नहीं,
नहीं
वो
करेगा.
वेरी मच पॉसिबल सर,
ना ना,
वरना
टेस्ट
फिर
मैच में नहीं भाई. सो इंडिया, भारत क्यों कैप कीपिंग कर रहा है और ईशान किशन क्यों नहीं कर रहा है?
बिकॉज ही इज अ
इंडिया
गुड कीपर, आई
ऑलवेज
अंडरस्टैंड।
प्रेफर्स better keeper than batsman. Probably overseas conditions में maybe not, but KL Rahul England में keeping करना is very difficult. Australia में maybe it was still fine because the ball doesn't do a lot after passing the wickets, but
यस।
England में keeping करने के लिए ऋषभ पंत को भी एक पूरी सीरीज लगी थी सीखने में, right? So I don't see him keeping at least in the WTC final, and with
No,
his age at
why
30.
I raised that point because I thought just to accommodate as much batting as possible, by bringing the likes of Shreyas or Sky or even Shardul Thakur, Jadeja, Ashwin, all of them in playing 11. You need to sacrifice Bharat and play
नहीं भैया,
Rahul.
एक कैच छूटता है तो बहुत लंबा जाता है टेस्ट मैच में, तो आई डोंट नो, लेट्स सी, बट वी
We'll
विल डिस्कस
see.
WTC later.
Yeah,
KL Rahul, I discussed, Sky was tried in one of the matches which was very weird. It was a one match experiment which failed
yeah.
obviously, and we never saw Sky play again. I don't know if he hangs around with the team after Shreyas Iyer's injury, but other pluses, maybe I think this series didn't have a lot to offer in terms of new talent across both sides, barring maybe Murphy and which we will talk about. But Jadeja, Ashwin doing what they do. Rohit Sharma doing pretty well. I think he played the best innings of the series in the most difficult situation.
Yeah,
For me, again, the plus I've discussed this is Virat Kohli's confidence. If Virat Kohli's confidence is back, then the next series we play is against West Indies in West Indies, which is today considered one of the easiest series around,
yeah,
right? I'm not even sure if he'll go there because usually India sends a weak team, but we will see. If we win the World Test Championship, I feel we will send a weak team. If we don't win the World Test Champion, the final, we will send a strong team. Usually that's how it happens. So not much to gain for India here, barring probably the qualification for WTC, which was at stake, which we have confirmed. But I think Australia has a few pointers which they would like to probably take away from the series for sure, as always when they come to India.
yes, yes, definitely they have pluses because they Steve Smith mentioned himself that they did exceedingly well in last two test matches, which also showed in the field as well. They lost 2-1 instead of 4-0 or 3-1 or 3-0. So yeah, good on them. So there were many plus points from their side as well. Khwaja did amazingly well. He showed his composure and patience. He batted for so long in like most of the innings after
Mm-hmm.
the Nagpur Test match. So yeah, good on Khwaja. Travis Head did well after the
Mm-hmm.
surprising ouster
Sure.
in
Mm-hmm.
Nagpur. He came back really well in the next three matches. Played some good knocks, so good on him as well. Murphy, no need to say, he was the breakout performance from Australia in this series. He showed that he's ready. He's ready to take the
Take up the
charge from
mantle.
Lyon whenever
Once
he hangs
Lion.
up his
Yeah,
boots.
exactly.
Yeah, Koeneman also did well. He was okay as a third spinner,
I think he's
and
very average. He
yeah,
just got a
just
wicket.
to
Yeah,
add variation of lefty because not Lyon and Murphy are pretty much
off spinner.
similar. Yeah, Cameron Green, he had a very
Yeah,
good series with the bat in two matches. Yeah, those were the and few things that they would like to correct. First and foremost would be Alex Carey. He needs
yeah.
to trust his defense a little more because he's a really good batsman. We have all seen that
Mm-hmm.
in his white ball and even in his red ball cricket in Australia. So he can bat. He should stick to his A game and not do things out of the box so quickly in his innings. Yeah, those are the things for Australia to work on. They would be happy that they would be playing WTC final, not in these conditions, but
Mm-hmm.
conditions that they would uh, I
Prefer,
don't say
let's say,
thrive on, yeah, but they would
they would
prefer.
prefer.
They would prefer,
Yeah.
yeah. And we
See,
would
एलेक्स
talk
कैरी का
what
तो
what
इतना बुरा होगा नहीं क्योंकि एडम गिलक्रिस्ट तक इंडिया में कुछ नहीं उखाड़ पाया तो लेट्स सी. But well summed up. Very quickly, last point on the Test series. Do you think this pitch or this match? Do you think like what direction do you think the Indian pitch curators will go for the future? Because last 3 years we've seen it's been horrible, right? I think if I remember correctly, it started when England came to India. जो रूट ने पहले मैच में डबल हंड्रेड किया था और उसके बाद से सिर्फ स्पिनिंग विकेट्स एंड आई हैव सीन दिस हैज आई हैव ऑब्जर्व दिस हैज इंक्रीज्ड बिकॉज ऑफ द डब्ल्यूटीसी टू बी ऑनेस्ट बिकॉज क्वालिफाई करना है अगर क्वालिफाई करना है तो हर मैच अपने घर में जीतना ही है
yeah,
राइट
they
तो
want to dominate at home. They want to win
उस
every
चक्कर
matches
में
in India.
इस चक्कर में डोमिनेट के चक्कर में एकदम ही घटिया पिचे देने लगे हैं उसी चक्कर में इंग्लैंड से एक मैच आ रहे थे ऑस्ट्रेलिया से एक मैच आ रहे थे आई फील इफ दे गिव लाइक दीज पुअर पिचेस द एडवांटेज ऑफ इंडिया विच इज बेटर स्पिन बॉलिंग देन अदर्स ऑन decent wickets is taken away because बॉल पे घटिया पिच पे तो कोई भी मैं भी बॉलिंग डालूंगा तो स्पिन हो जाएगी
Yeah,
right and it's about which team plays better, like does bats better. And sometimes we have seen Indians are found wanting, right? The collapse we've seen in the last 7 8 years. When India starts collapsing, they don't stop. So, do you think that we will move into a specific direction, or do you think these pitches will continue coming like this? Like gut feel, I'm sure nobody knows, but what do
yeah,
you think?
exactly, sir. Knowing me personally, you already know that I have never been fan of Indian pitches in last
Three to
almost a,
4 years.
exactly. Yeah,
2017
I've,
के आसपास अच्छी पिचे थी यार मतलब व्हेन
yeah,
17 में सीरीज हुई थी अच्छी खासी सीरीज हुई थी कोहली ने भी रन किए थे स्मिथ ने रन
mm,
किए थे दोज आर
yeah,
गुड पिचेस लाइक दे वुड बैट लाइक यू कैन बैट फॉर 3 days एंड 4 or 5th डे में स्पिन हो रिजल्ट तब भी आ रहा था बट 5th डे पे रिजल्ट आता था
So yeah, I've never been fan of these kind of surfaces where batting is so difficult. You are just making it predominantly for your spin bowling attack, where बैटिंग इज नेक्स्ट टू इम्पॉसिबल. कोई 100 नहीं हो रहा है, कोई वॉचिंग नहीं है बैटिंग के लिए. एंड दिस इज नॉट अ गुड एडवर्ट फॉर टेस्ट क्रिकेट इन माय ओपिनियन, in comparison to just to mention what happened last evening in New Zealand. That is a prime example of how you can make test cricket exciting other than baseball, following
Mm,
baseball and playing like that. If you provide surfaces, good surfaces for to for everyone over the course of 5 days, you get test matches like what we had in
mm,
Christchurch. So
mm,
अब आप सडनली सॉयल और वो चीज़ें नहीं ला सकते इंडियन कंडीशंस में, बट व्हाट दे कैन डू इज to make some more sporting wickets at least, where you give equal chance to batting side as well.
mm.
That's all I want to say. Don't be so harsh on your batsman.
Yeah, agreed. I think skill है हमारे पास फास्ट bowlers और spinners में.
वही तो.
Trust in that and prepare pitches for the audience and not for winning. लोगों के लिए
एग्जैक्टली
पिच
यार.
बनाओगे तो अपने आप ही अच्छी पिच बनेगी,
एंड
राइट?
मैं इस बात पे श्योर हूँ सर कि आई एम नॉट दी ओनली वन, आई एम नॉट दी ओनली इंडियन हु डोंट लाइक दीज काइंड ऑफ पिचेस.
हम्म. No,
आपकी क्रिकेट वॉचिंग खराब हो रही, 3 3 दिन में मैच खत्म हो रहे हैं, बैटिंग देखने को मिलती नहीं है, सिर्फ स्पिन होता है पूरे टेस्ट मैच
mm.
में इंडिया में. दैट्स नॉट अ गुड गुड व्यू.
नहीं नहीं, I'm sure. I have a feeling that we will get better at this. I think थोड़ा और mix करना है pitch को, थोड़ा सा bowling की तरफ और लाना है. But we've done that before and I'm sure. I think BCCI में भी ये बात पहुंच चुकी होगी क्योंकि दो pitches को लगातार poor rating मिली है. And
या
मैच 3 दिन में खत्म होते हैं, इसका मतलब है रेवेन्यू भी पूरा नहीं मिल रहा है. ऑनेस्टली दैट्स,
या
ट्रस्ट मी,
और क्या.
आपको 2 दिन की स्पॉन्सरशिप नहीं मिल रही है, आपको 2 दिन का टीवी रेवेन्यू नहीं मिल रहा है, आपको टिकट सेल्स नहीं मिल रही है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें होती हैं.
बिल्कुल,
सो
ये चीजें तो बिल्कुल हैं
बिजनेस
इकोनॉमिक.
भी है ये एक, राइट?
ये सब ऑब्वियसली.
Perfect. So let's move on to the ODI series. Of course, it starts on the 17th, which is a
या
Friday.
फ्राइडे या.
We are playing three matches in Mumbai, Visakhapatnam, and Chennai. I don't know why in such modern days we are playing 3 days or three match series when the whole world plays 5 match series. Um,
And that too in the year of World Cup. When 6 months down the line we have 50 overs World Cup, so they could have played 5 matches series, but I guess IPL is very so
IPL,
close.
IPL,
Yeah, so there was not
IPL
enough
का ही खेल है
window
बाबू
for that,
भैया.
I guess.
सारा खेल IPL का है. But Mumbai, Visakhapatnam, Chennai, I think historically Chennai is the slowest spinning
Yeah.
wicket. Vizag is a bit of
So
a
yeah,
toss up. कभी sticky wicket निकल आता है,
yeah,
कभी अच्छा batting निकल आता है. Mumbai, वानखेड़े,
yeah.
batter's paradise,
I
right? I
guess
mean,
yeah. आगाज तो बहुत ही अच्छा होने वाला है.
हम्म,
Definitely we gonna see 350. I'm sure in the first match because
तुम्हारे मुंह
Australia.
में घी शक्कर यार, मतलब 350
Yeah.
और कोहली की सेंचुरी.
Let's see. क्योंकि I feel Cummins would be back. Hazelwood is also there. I think they have
So let
arrived in
me
India.
let me let me read both the squads. Let me start with India. A very different squad. A lot of changes. Rohit Sharma, as usual, the captain. Yuzi Chahal is back. Obviously, Ishan Kishan will keep, or probably Rahul keeps. Let's see who opens.
Is Kuldeep
Uh,
there?
Kuldeep
He
is there.
should
So
be.
Shreyas Iyer, I think Shreyas Iyer goes out for
Yeah,
me
yeah. He's
because of
out
his
now.
injury.
Yeah.
Ravindra Jadeja, Virat Kohli, Kuldeep Yadav, Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, Hardik Pandya will play obviously. Akshar Patel, KL Rahul, Gill, Shardul, Umran Malik, Jaidev Unadkat,
Mm.
Washington Sundar एंड सूर्य कुमार यादव. होम टीम ने 18 लोग अनाउंस किए हैं और जो जो टूरिंग टीम है उसके 16 लोग हैं. मतलब मजाक
Okay.
ही है ना, इंडिया में आपको स्क्वाड में रखना है भैया, होटल में लोगों को खाना खिलाना है, होटल में घुमाना है, फ्लाइट में घुमाना है, तो रखो मजे में. बट I think India will go with those two spinners. It could be Yuzi and Jadeja, or Kuldeep or Jadeja, because I don't see Jadeja, Kuldeep and Yuzi all three playing. And
Mm.
Jadeja को आप बाहर नहीं बिठा सकते. अक्षर पटेल भी है स्क्वाड में, वॉशिंगटन सुंदर भी है स्क्वाड में, so I don't
Oh
know.
wow. So many spinning options.
सबको ले
So
आए हैं. Whereas I feel we are a fast bowler short, but we are not actually. Shami है, सिराज है, मलिक है. I think Umran Malik will play.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Definitely.
and
He
Hardik
would
Pandya
he
will
should
play.
start. Pandya is there?
Pandya is there.
Mm.
So Kohli number 3. I think we open with Rohit Sharma, Nishan Kishan. 4 पे अय्यर होता है यूजुअली. आई थिंक राहुल होगा अब की बार.
और Sky
5
होगा.
पे Sky को मौका मिलेगा. Probably previously Sky would not have gotten the chance, but Sky will be at 5. 6 will be Hardik Pandya, and keeper of course Ishan or Rahul में से कोई होगा. And then we'll play with fast bowlers, 5 bowlers, 2 spinners and 3 fast bowlers, which I feel
Seven
would
would
be
be, I guess, Jadeja. Is Shardul there? Shardul Thakur.
7. Shardul is there, but I don't see him playing. 7 would be Jadeja. 8 would
Eight
be.
would be either Shardul Thakur or Washington Sundar to, bulge up your batting
Oh
as well.
yeah. I think that's a very fair point. This means either one of Kuldeep or Chahal might not play, or
Yeah.
both of them might not play. To be honest,
Unfortunately, I feel Kuldeep would miss out again. He's been so unlucky. Whenever he got a chance from Indian team in recent past, he's done so well. But
यार
for some reasons,
प्रॉब्लम ये है
he
ना कि आप सिराज को, शामी को, चाहल को और मलिक को अगर खिलाओगे तो आपका नंबर 11 नंबर 8 से शुरू हो जाएगा.
तो चहल को खिलाना क्यों है यार? He is not done anything great in recent
नहीं
past.
तो
Why is he?
कुलदीप भी कोई बैट्समैन थोड़ी है, कुलदीप भी कुछ नहीं है भाई. तो
हाँ, ऑब्वियसली
7 पे
मैं बैटिंग
जडेजा.
की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ यार।
नो, आई हैव अ फीलिंग 7 पे जडेजा, देन एज यू सेड शार्दुल या वॉशी में
सुंदर
से एक को 8
या
पे खेलना ही पड़ेगा. मतलब अदरवाइज विल बी टू लाइट ऑन अ बैटिंग. दैट्स द प्रॉब्लम, राइट? वी कांट हैव अश्विन, जडेजा एंड अक्षर. वी आर फॉरगेटिंग अक्षर. प्रॉब्ली अक्षर
ओ
प्लेज एट
या
8,
मैन
राइट?
अक्षर
अब वो
पटेल
भी
भी तो
ओडीआई.
है।
यार अगर मुझे वॉशिंगटन सुंदर और अक्षर पटेल के बीच में खेलना होगा तो मैं आज की डेट में अक्षर पटेल को खिलाऊंगा.
ऑब्वियस 100% पटेल खेलेगा
तो
यार, मैं भूल गया
8 पे
था उसको।
पटेल, 8 पे पटेल खेलेगा.
एंड देन तीन पेसर
हम
मे
तीन
बी।
पेसर खेलेंगे, और मे बी अगर पांड्या, क्योंकि इंडिया मैच हो रहा है तो पांड्या पेसर हो गया, तो शायद अक्षर के साथ कुलदीप या चाहल को खिला देंगे, बिकॉज एक
या
स्पिनर तो खिलाएंगे ही खिलाएंगे. ये तो मुझे लगता है. सो इट विल बी जडेजा, अक्षर. क्योंकि दो लेफ्टी हो गए तो कुलदीप
या
को ना खिलाएं तो.
डोंट यू थिंक जडेजा एंड अक्षर वन हैज टू सिट आउट यार।
भाई
वो-
बैटिंग वीक हो जाएगी ना यार.
हम्म।
जडेजा तो एज ए बैटिंग खेल लेगा, एज ए बैट्समैन खेल सकता है इस टीम में खाली, राइट? तो 6 तक तो मैंने बता ही दिया था. 6 तक पांड्या हो गया, 7 पे जडेजा, 8 पे अक्षर, 9 पे आपका कुलदीप या चाहल. आई फील चाहल विल प्ले बिकॉज ही हैज इनफ क्रेडिट इन हिज बैंक. एंड देन दो फास्ट बॉलर होंगे. आई हैव अ फीलिंग इट विल बी सिराज, क्योंकि
एंड
शामी ने ये वाला
शमी,
मैच खेला था. नहीं नहीं, शामी को मेरे हिसाब से रेस्ट मिलेगा, रोटेट करेंगे. एंड
उमरान खेलेगा।
मलिक. तो हार्दिक पांड्या ओपन करेगा, वैसे भी आजकल वो ओपन करता ही है. तो मलिक, ओ सॉरी, पांड्या एंड सिराज विल ओपन. मलिक चेंज पे जाएगा, एंड 3 स्पिनर. 6 बॉलर हो गए यार, और क्या बच्चे जान लोगे. इंडिया
या
5 खिलाती है, इधर 6 खिला रही है.
2020 में पांड्या ओपन्स विद द बॉल। आई एम नॉट श्योर
आई थिंक
वेदर
ओडीआई में
ही
भी कर
वुड डू
सकता है.
दैट इन ओडीआई।
2
या
ओवर की
लेट्स सी।
बर्स्ट करानी है, 2 या 4 ओवर की बर्स्ट करानी है.
या
ठीक है.
दैट इज अ
ऑस्ट्रेलिया लुक्स वेरी
पॉसिबिलिटी।
स्ट्रांग.
Yeah,
ऑस्ट्रेलिया
I
इज
think
आई थिंक
they have
प्रॉब्ली
sent
बैक.
their strongest squad.
Yeah. Pat Cummins
Maxwell is
captains,
back.
Sean Abbott, Ashton Agar, Alex Carey, Nathan Ellis, Cameron Green, Travis Head, Josh English. नहीं खेलेगा वैसे वो. मार्नस लाबुशेन वनडेज में.
Hmm.
ठीक. मिचेल मार्श, ग्लेन मैक्सवेल, स्टीव स्मिथ, मिचेल स्टार्क, मार्कस टॉयनिस, डेविड वार्नर, एडम जैम्पा. इस वार्नर हाथ टूटा था ना उसका. व्हाट हैपेंड
हाँ अभी
देयर?
ठीक हो गया है।
ये
टाइम
कैसे
हो
हाथ
गया यार,
टूटा?
उसको पहले टेस्ट मैच में टूटा था ना हाथ।
तो भाई हाथ टूटने के बाद आपको वापस आने में 2 महीने लगते हैं. पता नहीं कैसा हाथ टूटा था. बट I think we should look out for Adam Zampa. Always does well in Indian conditions against India.
Yes, yes.
Steve Smith ODIs में तो जरूर खेलेगा, T20 में नहीं खेलता है. So quite a strong
Yeah, I
lineup there.
think this
Cameron
is
Green,
their strongest squad. Most of the better players from Australia are there.
Hazelwood is injured, right?
अच्छा हेजलवुड नहीं है स्क्वाड में?
नहीं, Hazelwood नहीं है.
ओह हाँ यार,
तो
ही इज स्टिल
पैट
इंजर्ड।
कमिंस है,
स्टार्क है
स्टार्क है,
स्टार्क।
स्टॉइनी खेलेगा. एंड एक फास्ट बॉलर मे बी कैम ग्रीन एंड स्टॉइनी के बीच में डिवाइड हो जाएगा.
मुझे क्या लगता है, अभी मैंने स्क्वाड देखा नहीं है, वी कैन सी इट लेटर, बट आई फील स्टार्क कमिंस ये दो तो स्टार्ट करेंगे। उसके
हम्म.
बाद आई थिंक दे विल यूज द ऑल द ऑलराउंडर्स बिकॉज दे
ग्रीन,
बॉल्स्टर
स्टॉइनी
ये बैटिंग एज वेल। ग्रीन कर
और
सकता है
तुम्हारा
3 पे, देन
मैक्सवेल है.
स्टोइनिस है, मार्श है, मैक्सवेल है।
मैक्सवेल है, ज़ैम्पा
मैक्सवेल
है.
कमिंग आफ्टर
अरे
सो
मार्श भी
मच
तो है
लॉन्ग
यार,
ब्रेक।
तीन तीन फास्ट बॉलिंग ऑलराउंडर्स हैं इनके पास.
वही तो
नॉट
कह
बैड.
रहा हूँ।
नॉट बैड.
आउट एंड आउट पेसर सिर्फ ये दो खिलाएंगे एज फार एज
हाँ
माय
हाँ हाँ.
अंडरस्टैंडिंग गोज,
अग्री.
स्टार्क एंड कमिंस। Greenwood come first change. Then,
हम्म.
as per requirement, Marsh and Stoinis can bowl medium pace. Then
हम्म.
Zampa is there for sure.
मैक्सवेल इज देयर.
Maxwell is there. and I feel Ashton Agar is also gonna play in
हाँ,
playing 11.
मुझे नहीं लगता जगह आशना की जगह नहीं होगी। इतनी जगह नहीं
Maybe
है,
let's
कितने बॉलर
see.
खिला लेंगे। देखो यार, कितने भी बॉलर खिला लो, वर्ल्ड्स बेस्ट लाइनअप खिला लो, 350 रन बनेंगे और 350 रन चेज होंगे। ठीक है तो ठीक है तो it doesn't really matter. It's going to be a batter's paradise hopefully,
Yeah,
and it's going to be due. It'll be a match of the toss. जो टॉस जीतेगा उसके मैच जीतने के चांसेस बढ़ जाएंगे। चेज करने में इंडिया वैसे
yeah,
ही
yeah.
जानवर है। कोहली के
It's
अंदर
gonna
अलग से
be
इंजेक्शन लग जाता है।
it's
सो
gonna be battle between the two heavy batting lineups.
नो, that's nice. Hopefully we see a lot of runs, and by the time we will be putting our next episode, I think एक मैच तो हो चुका होगा। सेकंड, I'm not sure, is on Sunday. I think it's on
I
Sunday, so
think
we
so.
probably,
It's on Sunday.
yeah, so let's see if we can cover that match as well.
Yeah.
Any closing comments from your side?
It was a good series. Result was pretty much expected, but not 4-0 or 3-1. It was 2-1. So yeah, kudos to both the sides. They got what they wanted. Obviously, not the result with respect to Australia, but they can be proud what they did in last two matches, especially after the debacle of Nagpur and Delhi. They did well,
Mhm.
exceedingly well in Indore and Ahmedabad. So yeah, signs are good, and I'm not. It's not. It won't be good of me to announce the WTC final results right now. What I
Mhm.
think, but let's see. Chances are good for them. And India तो अच्छा खेला ही यार, वो expected था उनको घर पे जीतना, which they did,
अच्छा
and
हुआ सीरीज
deservingly
खत्म हो गई।
these two teams gonna compete for the WTC crown. So yeah.
नहीं, अच्छा हुआ सीरीज खत्म हो गई। अगर 5 मैच के थे तो जिस हिसाब से चला था ऑस्ट्रेलिया जीत जाती, 2-2 हो जाता। बिकॉज दे वर पिकिंग अप द मोमेंटम। आई एम एज एन इंडियन फैन की सीरीज फिनिश्ड
अगर
एट
आप
राइट
याद
मोमेंट।
करो, जस्ट थोड़ा सा मेमोरी बैक करो, 50 मिनट्स बैक
मैं
मैंने
तो
क्या कहा
फोर
था?
नील कहा था यार, मैं तो 4-0 कहा था। मेरी क्या
मैंने
बात कर रहे हो तुम?
मैंने इस वीडियो के शुरू में कहा था कि दे मेड श्योर दैट दे डोंट लूज दिस टेस्ट।
हाँ,
उसी हिसाब से इन्होंने सरफेस
बिल्कुल
प्रोवाइड
बिल्कुल।
किया है, क्योंकि जो हुआ
एग्जैक्टली।
इंदौर में, दे गॉट अ टेस्ट ऑफ देयर ओन मेडिसिन। आप घर पे स्पिन से आउटडू हो रहे हो, इवन आफ्टर possessing द लाइक्स ऑफ अश्विन जडेजा, दैट्स pat on the back of Aussies, you know.
Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, good battle in the series. Well played series in good spirits, and blockbuster ODI series coming up in the year of the World Cup, which is happening
Yeah,
in India. One mention from my side before we close, Angelo Matthews के बारे में 20 सेकंड 10-12 सेकंड बोलना चाहूँगा।
yeah,
An unsung hero of Sri Lankan cricket, against scored a
absolutely.
century all won the match, which was of course Kane Williams की century ने बचा लिया मैच, जिता दिया न्यूजीलैंड को. But that guy has played over 100 test matches, has an average of more than 45. It's exactly same as Pujara, and we
Mm.
consider Pujara to be a modern, not a legend, but a
Yeah,
great maybe,
yeah,
let's say. And again, this is the era of poor batting, and he has an average of 45 in an era of poor
yeah,
batting.
yeah.
That's almost 50 across all the other eras. So he's one legend we don't talk enough about. 35 years का है, काफी साल से खेल रहा है,
I'll
and he's
also
carrying.
take the 10-15 seconds. You aptly put. He's been, अगर हम जैसे क्रिकेट में वो क्लीशेज यूज करते हैं ना, अनसंग हीरो, अंडररेटेड, if there is one guy, so that has to be Angelo Matthews. I guess on stats as well, he's gonna be their third best batsman in Test cricket after Sangakkara and Jayawardene. I think
Mhm,
he has crossed 7,000 runs recently in this
mhm.
Test
Yes,
match,
yes, yes.
some 14-1500s, batting average of mid 40s, which is absolutely fine. So yeah, he's been really an unsung hero for Sri Lankan cricket, and I feel he's been marred with injuries in recent past. Not recent past, I think most of the last decade. क्योंकि हम अगर हम याद करें, जब उसने शुरू किया था करियर, he was a genuine all-rounder. उसको इतनी इंजरीज हुई, उसकी बॉलिंग ऑलमोस्ट खत्म हो गई,
छोड़ी थी बॉलिंग तो उसने, चार
छोड़ दी
पाँच साल से
उसने
बॉलिंग
बॉलिंग,
नहीं
यार
लगाई।
काफी टाइम हो गया, बट बैटिंग उसकी इतनी सॉलिड है. He's got the game for every condition. He plays well in Asia, he plays well in overseas conditions as well. So yeah, hats off to Angelo
I think the
Matthews.
only bad thing about him, or unfortunate thing about him, is he's part of a weak Sri Lankan team.
Yeah,
Had he been a part of a strong Sri Lankan team, we would have been talking a lot more about him. They would have been winning a lot more, dominating matches.
yeah,
Whereas right now he's playing a single hand in probably a lot of losing causes.
yes,
So,
exactly.
but well done, Angelo Matthews. All Fab Four are in form now Steve Smith, Virat Kohli, Kane Williamson, and Joe Root. Uh, this has happened probably for the first time, or maybe one like after 4 or 5 years. Let's
Yeah,
hope this continues, and for the next 2 years, we see that healthy competition and rivalry between all these four greats of the game.
ये
Yeah.
पॉइंट मैंने भी देखा कल ट्विटर पे सडनली कि ऑल फोर आर बैक. अब अगर आप इन अ वे देखो तो लीस्ट परफॉर्मिंग आउट ऑफ ऑल दीज फोर is Steve Smith right now. He has a not a good series up to from his
वो वन
standard.
फॉर्मेट प्लेयर है, राइट? उसका खराब होता है तो सब खराब रहता है। अपना भाई जो है वो ऑल फॉर्मेट प्लेयर है, वो तो वैसे ही संभाल लेता है गेम। केन विलियमसन भी खेल लेता है। जो रूट भी टू एन एक्सटेंट इज अ सिंगल फॉर्मेट प्लेयर। सो सिंगल फॉर्मेट प्लेयर्स विल obviously have to score a lot more.
Yeah. No, I mean सिंगल फॉर्मेट. बट मैं ये कहूंगा कि रूट एंड स्मिथ को थोड़ा सा ये डिसएडवांटेज है कि दे डोंट प्ले 2020 बट दे आर
Mm.
इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ देयर ओडीआई प्लान्स. बहुत लोगों को ये ध्यान नहीं जाता है. एंड आई थिंक इफ आई कैन से यू आर वन ऑफ देम कि स्मिथ गोज अंडर द रडार विद रिस्पेक्ट टू हिज ओडीआई फॉर्म. लास्ट टूर पे वो बेस्ट बैट्समैन था, उसने सेंचुरी मारी थी न्यूजीलैंड के
भाई
खिलाफ
तो
जहां पे 200 रन नहीं बन रहे थे. ही वाज द स्टैंड आउट बैट्समैन.
सो यही तो बात है, यही तो डिफरेंस है गुड और ग्रेट में। दैट्स वे विराट कोहली इज अ ग्रेट, एवरीबडी इज गुड, यस अग्रीड। वो बंदा जैसे स्टीवन स्मिथ इज अ लेवल अबव ऑल ऑफ द रिमेनिंग थ्री इन टेस्ट मैचेस, विराट कोहली इज टू लेवल्स अबव all of these three
इन
in all the
ओडीआईज.
white
या.
ball crickets,
यस
all
यस.
white ball cricket, even T20s, right?
श्योर श्योर
So,
श्योर.
so I think उसका ये वाला गैप इतना बड़ा है कि वो बाकी का गैप कवर कर लेता है, उस तरह की बात है। एंड अगर आप अक्रॉस फॉर्मेट्स बेस्ट बैट्समैन एवर की बात करोगे, तो उसमें सचिन तेंदुलकर ने क्योंकि T20s इतने खेले नहीं थे, नहीं तो सचिन तेंदुलकर और विराट कोहली स्टैंड आउट बिकॉज दे वर डूइंग वेल अक्रॉस ऑल द फॉर्मेट्स दे प्लेड एट देयर पीक, अनलाइक एनीबडी एल्स।
या. You are
कूल,
forgetting one big name, but that's okay.
गिव मी द नेम, गिव मी द नेम।
You should predict by seeing my face.
केविन पीटरसन मत बोल देना
No, no,
यार।
no, no.
जैक
How can you
कालिस,
forget his name, man?
मतलब
All
who
format
are we talking?
बैट्समैन की बात कर रहे हो
अरे
ना?
भैया तुम्हारे 360 डिग्री, my bad, I raised my hand up. Yes, exactly. So top three, top three. I'm not ranking anybody.
I'm
I'm not
blushing.
ranking anybody. So
Yeah,
people who don't know, अंकित जितना बड़ा मैं विराट कोहली का फैन हूँ, उससे कहीं ज्यादा बड़ा वो एबी डिविलियर्स का फैन है। एंड कई बारी लड़ाइयाँ वड़ाइयाँ कर चुका है लोगों से, हाथापाई नहीं आई है बस, क्योंकि ऑनलाइन होती है एबी डिविलियर के नाम पे। बड़ा मजा आता है हम लोगों को इसको चिढ़ाने में। वी टेक अ लॉट ऑफ फन, वी ऑल अग्री एबी डिविलियर्स इज ग्रेट, बट कभी कभार उसकी बुराई करते हैं जानबूझ के इसको चिढ़ाने के लिए। राइट,
Yeah, we'll keep this talk to sometime later, but we'll
कूल।
definitely have that conversation for sure.
We will talk about, but
Yeah,
maybe a good topic to discuss in one of our next podcasts, in the future,
yeah,
about
why
AB
not?
de Villiers. Why not? Cool. Thank you so much, Ankit. Episode थोड़ा लंबा हो गया है
मैं
for what we
मैं
thought,
फाइनल
but
फाइनल पॉइंट यही कहने जा रहा था कि हमने सोचा था we should wrap up around
फाइनल
30
पॉइंट
minutes.
कर करके फाइनल पॉइंट ही होते जा रहे हैं। बट आई होप एवरीबडी हु इज लिसनिंग और वाचिंग दिस enjoyed. I
Yeah,
enjoyed thoroughly
me too.
talking to you, Ankit, about the series and in general on this episode. I hope people also sort of enjoy us. If you do, please give us a like and a share, and probably even share your feedback in comment section on any of the platforms where you are listening to us or watching us. Keep showing the love. We are, as you know, just starting, and we have a long way to go. Thank you so much, Ankit.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, people.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.